From the Evening Standard in London, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is The Leader. The future sources of our food, especially in cities, is a huge issue, from the cost to pesticides used in production and controversies surrounding GM, and of course ensuring children can get access to nutritious and fresh fruit and vegetables. During lockdown, a trip to the farm seemed a flight of fancy for many city dwellers, and a team of volunteers at the Felix Project is helping deliver farm surplus to charities and schools to provide healthy meals to those who need it. Marcus Roberts, Relationship Manager at the Felix Project, is with me now. Marcus, could you tell us about your own experience working with urban farms?
Yeah, so we do work with a lot of urban farms at the moment, and what we do, we work with an organisation called Feedback, and they've got a gleaming network where all different charities and organisations can apply to get involved, and then different farms around the country will notify them and say when they've got a surplus of vegetables in the field. So what happens with these vegetables in the field? If nobody goes to collect them, they go to waste, they rot, they go to anaerobic digestion. We assemble a team, we drive out to one of the farms in our Felix van with a team of, say, 10 volunteers, and they spend the whole day, 8 hours, going through the field, picking up the surplus. It could be squashes, could be potatoes, stuff like that. We sort them out and go and redistribute them to different charities we work with, which is amazing. because you're going to give them this fresh food from the farm, which they otherwise wouldn't have. And if we didn't get the food ourselves, it would have gone to waste. So it's really nice how that works out.
Just picking up on these awful pictures we saw of meagre food parcels being sent out by government contractors during lockdown, how's the Felix Project working to improve this situation with your own network?
The amount of food we get for the little donations we get is incredible. And when you see how tiny the school meals were, it was shocking. I found it heartbreaking. My whole team at the charity did. And we just stepped up. We said, this isn't good enough. We want to make a difference. And that's one of the reasons we're making our new Felix kitchen in East London, which we're going to launch in July. And our aim there is to make 30,000 meals a day from surplus food and give them to primary schools in London for these children who would otherwise wouldn't have access during the school holidays. So that's our main thing at the moment. And I think it's really powerful stuff. We're powered by volunteers. If it wasn't for all the people giving up their time for free, wouldn't be able to do what we do.
So tell us some of the feedback you've had from families and from the children themselves. Are they noticing the taste difference?
Do you know what? We do get lots of feedback. Because some of the stuff we get, it's called wonky fruit and vegetables. So some of the farms, they get like certain vegetables, and this is like an upmarket store they sell to. They can't really sell it because it looks a bit wonky. So we go and collect that because there's nothing wrong with it. It just looks a bit funny, but it tastes amazing. And we've got different projects we do in different primary schools and organisations, and then make meals with some of the food. And we do get feedback that it tastes amazing. You can taste the difference. You really can.
Marcus, I think that's a really good point. And so what would you say are some of the benefits for children living in the inner city to get out to farms and get their hands into the soil?
Yeah, because lots of children, they've been, say in the lockdown, they've been stuck in their house. They can only go out for 1 hour's exercise. They're not seeing their friends. They're not having lots of interaction on outside spaces. And in London, there's so many young children from disadvantaged backgrounds living in big tower blocks in the States. And if you go to these places, there's no green there. There's no grass. There's no trees. And it's not nice for them. And I think the more they can get out of that situation, environment, and spend time, like you said yourself, their hands in the soil, digging the ground, touching the plants, watering them, and just spending time with nature, it's very good for them, for their mental health and well-being as well.
And what's your view on how urban farms can help feed us in the future?
I like that question. I've actually read quite a few positive stories in the media over the last few months about different urban farms, not just in England, but in America, where they've reached out to the local community, to different youth groups and stuff, elderly groups, and said, do you want to get involved and be part of the process of the urban farming? So they get some youth groups to come to the farm. They'd spend time helping to grow the food and nurturing it. But when they get to take some of that food home, it's teaching them some life skills about looking after something, seeing it grow, taking time, the seasons, the importance of the different seasons for the food. And it gives them that connection to earth and to nature, which is so important, because once they have that kind of grounding with nature, it sets them up nice for life, doesn't it? They're more calm, they're more stable. I think it's very important, but not many people have that opportunity. So the more we can open up urban farms to young people and different groups to get involved, it's a very good thing.
And you can find out more about the work of the Felix Project at standard.co.uk. Well, earlier this week I visited one place in London that's hoping to achieve all of this. It's a new crowd-funded urban farm called Sitopia, and it's 100% organic. A growing meadow and polytunnels have been created on the site of the Woodlands Farm Trust in Shooters Hill, southeast London, and that's the biggest such site in the UK, and it certainly feels like an escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. I met Chloe Dunnett, founder and chief grower, and Ace Morgan, a volunteer and local father of two, who was busily bedding in young tomato plants ahead of their first harvest. Hi Ace, this planting looks like it's going really well. What are your jobs today?
Shifting a big pile of compost into a different place, then making it into beds, and then there's been a fair amount of planting, watering, sowing, so it's been quite mixed today.
And Chloe, how's everything going on this new project? Tell us about the wider Woodland Farm Trust site that we're on.
So we have chickens, there are pigs, there's some cattle and sheep. It's just been lambing time at the moment over there. You can hear some lambs bleating away in the fields. There's beehives run by an ex-Met Inspector who's now retired from the police, now looks after the bees. There's a blacksmith over there, that banging you can hear is over in the forge. Lots of great activities going on.
And it all seems to be even more special that this is happening just an hour away from the bustle of Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah, I mean, we feel incredibly lucky to be here. It's just, I don't know if you can hear it on this, but we're in an inner London borough, but it feels like we're in the countryside. The bird song, there's blossom around, there's trees, there's nature and greenness. You know, that can be hard to come by in the city. We all need it. I think it's quite primal and basic, actually. Not just time in nature, but getting your hands literally in the soil. Certainly the people who come here and help that say that, you know, they get so much from doing that. We also think that it just makes more sense. We're reducing food miles. There is more food that can and should be grown in cities. Obviously not all of it, that would be crazy, but we can grow more in cities, particularly some of the stuff we're growing, like salad leaves, things which are highly perishable. You know, we can harvest here in the morning and someone can come pick it up. We can deliver it in the afternoon and then eat it there and then. You can't get fresher, more nutritious than that.
So with all this organic growing, it looks like a great example for others to follow. What are your hopes for the future?
We want to be part of the wider change we want to see. We think there should be more farms like us. There are already some fantastic examples, but we want a bigger network of urban and peri-urban farms serving the city. You know, a place to help reduce food miles, improve the environment, produce delicious, nutritious food which is better for people's health, and a place where people come and connect to each other, to the land, to think about the food system. So there are multiple health, environmental, social benefits to it.
That's the leader for this week. David Marsland will be back with you on Monday at 4 p.m. Have a lovely weekend.